So today I'm joined by DCU alumnus and graduate of the MSc in Management of Operations, Peter English. Peter, you're very welcome.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thank you.
I can imagine that the month of December is quite a hectic time for you at LEDVista. How are things going?
Yes, absolutely. It's into the panic zone at the moment, but it'll all settle down in the next couple of days. So yeah, a hectic
Yeah,
week for sure. Yeah.
great stuff. It's good to be busy this time of year. There's no complaints, I think.
That's true. Yeah, certainly. It is good to be busy. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Peter, you're a graduate of the MSc in Management of Operations at DCU. You graduated in 2009. So we might take a little trip back there and to the years previous of when you were a student. So what memories do you have of studying at DCU?
Yeah, but very positive memories. It's a time. It was there's a positive atmosphere, and it was very much time to open minds and reflect on where to go next and take stock. And so it's a great time. It flies by quickly. I particularly enjoyed working in the group assignments and meeting people and people in the same situation as myself. So that was very very rewarding, and so it was a great experience.
Great. And all the positive experiences, so much so that you've returned now as a part-time lecturer for the business school and for the open education unit. So what differences have you found from being a student at DCU and being a staff member there?
Yes, well, actually, I think it's very helpful to have both perspectives. I think you can definitely relate to the students in a much better way when you've been there yourself, and you can understand what they're going through. So I think it's a very positive thing. I didn't expect to be back there doing lecturing and tutoring, but it's great. It's also very rewarding work as well. And in fact, two of my study group colleagues are also DCU, one part-time and one is full-time. So we call ourselves the three amigos. So the three of us ended up back doing work for DCU. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, brilliant. We're delighted to have you back. So a year out from graduating then, and you founded LEDVista. So you might just tell me a little bit about why you founded it and the early journey in the business.
Yes, well, my background is in electronic engineering. I would have started studying electronic engineering back in CIT Carlow years ago, and most of my career up to 2009 was in the semiconductor sector, working for various companies, including a couple of American companies. So I worked in technical environment and then became manager of different functions over the years, and so I got to a point where I needed to sharpen management skills, and so I took on the MSc in 2009. But around that time, big changes were taking place in the world. Of course, we had a big economic crash around then, and I was at a point when I finished my studies where I would have had to either leave the country to stay in the to continue the career I was in, or do something else. So I just took the view that I'd love to start my own business. The time was right, and had a particularly strong interest in e-business, and that interest grew during my studies at DCU. In fact, the main dissertation topic I took was barriers facing SMEs in adopting e-business in competition with large size firms. So that got my interest going in e-business. So combined with semiconductor technology and LED or LED lighting, LED lighting is a semiconductor technology. So combining that background with a new interest in e-business and a desire to set my own business up, all three of those factors played. And I said, look, let's go for it now. The time is right. So I went ahead in 2010 and got that set up during 2010, and really started trading in early 2011. So that's where that came from.
And here we are 10 years later and still going strong.
Fast 10 years. Yes, it's actually particularly in the last couple of years where, I mean, it's clear that e-business and e-commerce is growing steadily, but it's really, I think the arrival of COVID-19 has really forced that forward, I think, much faster than it would have happened. And so e-business, a lot of people buying online, a lot of business being done online now, and also particularly mobile e-commerce as well. About 70% of people that purchase goods online now are via smartphones. So big changes happening fast. So I've noticed in the past 2 years, in particularly last year, I've seen a lot of growth in the business. So very happy with that.
Yeah, it's brilliant to hear. And I think that you're completely right in saying that this year, especially, we've seen such a huge shift in the way that people are buying products and the way that businesses are operating. And I suppose that fact has just been accelerated by the arrival of a global pandemic. How,
Yes.
how have you and your business found that experience with moving stuff online and kind of trying to follow the trends that there are at the moment?
Yeah, well, actually, LEDVista was mainly focused on e-business anyway, so we're probably fortunate in that we had a very good, head start, and we're able to be set up quickly to deal with the online demand. So we're fortunate from that point of view. But that said, it's an ongoing endeavor to even to run a website and to keep it up to date. It's not a matter of switching on a switch. You have to continue work on it. You have to improve content and freshen it up, and you have to consider Google Analytics and all of that. So it's a continuous, constant changing environment as well. So there's a lot of it's really a full-time endeavor to really have a it's not like an add-on. I think some people may sort of have a view that, well, I just stick on a website as well. It needs to be more mainstream than that. You really have to give it full attention all of the time. But it's definitely an essential part of doing business now, I think, for most businesses. So certainly in 2021, our main aim or focus will be improving the online shopping experience, improving making it easier and quicker, and adding better content. And so that'll be the number one priority in 2021, is growing the e-business.
You were lucky that you were kind of operating online before this hit, so you had.
Yes, we're probably fortunate. Yes, definitely, we're
Yeah.
well established for the past few years. Yeah.
Yeah. You might
So
tell me a bit about the products and the services that you have on offer at LEDVista.
yeah, it's lighting is the main and related to products. Obviously, lighting, LED lighting or LED lighting is become really the normal lighting now. Most lighting at this point is a LED-based technology for many reasons: energy efficiency and long lifetime, and the technology has matured a lot as well, and is so it's now so mainly lighting. I focus on a number of brands, good brands. We tend to be careful to stick with well-established brands. So and then it's really best quality we can at the most competitive price we can, get the right combination there. And also related products too. There's definitely a move towards smart lighting, like everything else. Bluetooth and Wi-Fi enabled lighting linked to your smart home or to your smart business. So that's a growing trend, and it's now becoming established as well.
Yeah. Always having to keep up with the latest trends and the way that people are buying.
That's right. Keeps moving, and it keeps moving all of the time. Yeah.
Yeah. Peter, if you were to give any advice from your 10 years in business now, any advice to maybe some current undergrad students in DCU or new graduates or any member of our alumni community, maybe if they're in business right now and looking to make the move to e-business, moving things online, or even if they're starting out and they don't really know where to start in setting up a business, what advice can you offer them?
Yeah, with regard to, well, I mean, the first thing is if you have a passion and interest, is just pursue it. Don't just think about it. Take action and go for it. And be optimistic, but be ready to have to inject a lot of energy too. Starting a business. It takes time and effort and patience and a lot of attention, and so don't expect too much too quickly. Be patient, but stick with it, and it'll happen. So that's the first thing. Some people So some can be a bit maybe over optimistic to expect things to move unrealistically quickly, but it will happen. With regard to e-business, I just think it's now so essential. You've got to be present online and social media as well as as website and mobile. You've got to be present, in the e-world now. It's an essential thing, regardless of what business you're in. So it should be central to your plans. And even if you have a physical shop or a physical setup, combine both. But certainly, I think an e-business plan needs to be central at this point, and it's moving faster than ever. Mobile is moving faster. The people want to do everything on the tips of their fingers now. They don't even want to switch laptops on. They want to do, whether it's banking, shopping, anything. They just want to do it from their smartphones. So that's a rapidly growing trend.
Mm-hmm. And thankfully, you've been ahead of that trend up until now, and continues to.
Yeah, but and I have to keep moving, and it's a continuously moving platform. So we have to keep you don't get complacent and just keep moving and keep improving. That's just no standing still.
Absolutely, a great message and great advice. And if we wanted to find out more about LEDVista, maybe on your website or social medias, where can we find you?
Yeah, well, the website probably will certainly give you a very quick, view of the range of products and solutions we offer, and you'll certainly get a feel very quickly on what we do. We do, have LinkedIn and Facebook as well, and starting to increase activity there as time goes on. So probably for an overview of what we do, probably the website is the quickest. Either desktop or mobile. So it's ledvista.ie would give you the quickest overview of what we do. So we are considering an app as well into 2021. It would be a sort of more simplified version of the mobile site. So that's among other things. So we're looking at some new things in 2021. And
Brilliant.
Also there's always opportunity to improve content to make it more engaging, and there's all kinds of there's lots of opportunities to improve, that's for sure.
Definitely. And we're looking forward to following you along on that journey, Peter. Delighted to have you with us this morning, and of course delighted to feature you as our Alumni Spotlight Business Owner feature.
Thank you, I appreciate it. It's great, and very best wishes, and thank you.
Of course. Thank you, Peter.